The most powerful AI company in the world just admitted it's on a leash, and it's not happy about it. OpenAI revealed this week that the United States government quietly asked them to limit how fast they roll out GPT-5.6, their newest and most capable AI model. Here's what makes this shocking. This isn't because the model is broken or dangerous. It's pure politics. Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, basically said that government-imposed restrictions shouldn't become the norm, which means they see this as a troubling precedent for how AI development gets controlled. Why does this matter? Because OpenAI isn't some startup. They're the company that created ChatGPT, trained GPT-4, and now GPT-5.6, arguably the most advanced AI models in existence. When a company this influential publicly pushes back against government restrictions, even while complying with them, it signals something serious. There's a real tension building between what governments want and what AI companies want to build. The question everyone's asking is simple. Does government regulation of AI protect us, or does it slow down innovation that could genuinely help millions of people? Think of it like the government hitting the brakes on a powerful car. Maybe it prevents crashes, or maybe it just leaves us stuck on the side of the road. And here's where it gets complicated. So how did we get here? For the last few years, governments around the world have watched AI develop at breakneck speed. ChatGPT hit 100 million users in 2 months, faster than any app in history. When something moves that fast, regulators get nervous. They start asking questions. What are the risks? Can this be misused? Do we need guardrails? The European Union went first with their AI Act, a massive regulatory framework that basically says high-risk AI needs oversight. The United States followed slowly. Biden issued an executive order pushing for AI safety standards. Now countries worldwide are drafting rules. But here's what frustrates companies like OpenAI. These regulations are still being written. There's no clear global standard. One country wants one thing. Another wants something completely different, and tech companies get caught in the middle trying to build for everyone. This isn't new, by the way. It happened with social media. Governments watched platforms grow unchecked, then stepped in with regulations like GDPR. It's the same story: innovation, then regulation catches up. The difference with AI is the stakes feel higher. We are talking about systems that could influence elections, spread misinformation, or make medical decisions. So governments are trying to get ahead of it this time. Okay, so what exactly did the government ask OpenAI to do? The details are actually pretty vague, which is part of why this is causing so much debate. From what OpenAI revealed, the United States government essentially said slow down the rollout of GPT-5.6. That's it. No specific technical limitations. No rules saying you can't do this or that. Just roll it out more slowly than you planned. Think of it like launching a new iPhone. You could release it to everyone on day one, or you could release it to a small group first, work out bugs, gather feedback, then expand. The government apparently asked OpenAI to take the slow route with GPT-5.6, test it more carefully before letting millions of people use it. Why GPT-5.6 specifically? The government probably worried about its capabilities. Each new generation of GPT models gets smarter, and at some point smarter might mean more capable of doing something we don't want it to do. They could be concerned about everything from cyber attacks to misinformation generation to economic manipulation. The government's concern is, what if this model gets released and someone figures out how to weaponize it before safeguards are in place? OpenAI's argument is basically, we've got this under control. We know our model. We've tested it. Let us release it on our timeline, not yours. So what does this actually mean for you as a user? Well, if you're using ChatGPT Plus or Enterprise, you won't get access to GPT 5.6 immediately. Instead of a big release where everyone can use it tomorrow, it'll roll out gradually. Maybe you get early access in a month. Maybe it takes 3 months. Maybe longer. For most ChatGPT users, honestly, it might not feel like much. ChatGPT 4.5 is already incredibly capable. Most people wouldn't notice a huge difference week to week anyway. But here's where it matters. If you're a researcher, a programmer, or someone who relies on the absolute cutting edge, that delay could cost you. You might lose weeks of productivity waiting for access to a smarter model. You might miss deadlines. You might fall behind competitors who get access elsewhere. The bigger picture, though, is this. when governments start selectively slowing down which models get released, and when it changes how companies plan. OpenAI might decide it's not worth building GPT 6.0 if the government might ask them to hold that back too, or they might move operations to a country with looser regulations. Other AI companies might think twice about competing in the United States market if they know releases can be delayed by request. The real consequence isn't that your ChatGPT access changes tomorrow. It's that innovation might change. Here's a question nobody's asking. Is OpenAI the only company getting this treatment? The article mentions the United States government asking OpenAI, but does Google face the same pressure? What about Anthropic or Meta? The honest answer is we don't know because other companies aren't talking about it, and that's actually interesting in itself. Either they're not getting this kind of pressure, or they're quietly complying and not making a public complaint like OpenAI did. My guess, Anthropic, which was founded specifically to build AI safely, probably doesn't have this problem. Google, being a massive United States corporation with government contracts, probably cooperates quietly without saying anything. Meta might face pressure, but isn't dependent on high-end model releases the way OpenAI is. This matters because if the United States government is only pressuring OpenAI, it's not regulation, it's targeting. But if it's an industry-wide thing, it's the beginning of a coordinated regulatory approach. OpenAI's public complaint actually reveals something important. They're the ones most frustrated by this because they are most exposed. They're a pure AI play. They don't have search, advertising, cloud services, or government contracts to fall back on. For them, releasing smarter models faster than everyone else is their competitive advantage. Take that away, and they are just another company. Let's zoom out and think about what this actually means for the future. If the pattern continues, if governments keep asking companies to slow down high-capability AI releases, we're looking at a pretty significant change in how AI develops. For decades, tech has moved faster than regulation. Facebook grew, and then regulators caught up. Social media spread misinformation, and then governments tried to legislate solutions. The internet itself grew wild and rules came later. But with AI, governments are trying to regulate as it develops. That's new. It could be smarter catch problems before they become massive, or it could backfire slow progress on solutions to real problems. Here's what worries me. When the United States government starts controlling AI release timelines, what stops other governments from doing the same? China could ask domestic companies to hold back. Russia could. Suddenly, we are not racing to build the best AI, we are playing 4D chess with governments. Innovation gets bogged down in politics instead of science. This decision might protect us today, or it might be the moment when the torch passes to countries willing to move faster without restriction. The stakes are genuinely high. Before we wrap up, let's talk about what you should actually understand about how AI companies release models and how regulation works. This is going to matter more and more. Most AI companies release models in stages: private testing first, employees and trusted researchers, then beta access for a small group, then public launch. Each stage reveals problems you didn't catch before. It's the same playbook software companies use. More time in each stage means fewer bugs, fewer misuses, fewer surprises. The government is basically saying spend more time in the middle stages, test with more people, verify more edge cases, build better safeguards. On paper, that sounds good. More testing, fewer accidents, but it also means slower innovation. Here's what you need to watch. When regulations are proposed, they usually slow down the market leaders the most. New companies can sometimes move faster through gray areas, so regulation could accidentally protect incumbents, making it easier for established companies to stay on top because startups can't navigate the rulebook. Pay attention to this because it affects what tools you get access to and when. It affects job markets because companies might relocate based on regulations. It affects global competition if the United States slows AI development. Other countries might catch up. All right, here's the big takeaway. We are at an inflection point. For years, tech companies moved fast and broke things. AI is too important to break the wrong thing, so governments are stepping in. That's probably wise, but how they step in matters enormously. If regulation is transparent, reasonable, and applied fairly, it could work. Rules that protect people without strangling innovation are the goal. But if regulation becomes geopolitical, a tool for controlling which companies thrive, then we all lose. The real question isn't whether the government should regulate AI. They should. The question is, will they do it intelligently? OpenAI's public complaint might actually be helpful. It forces the conversation into the open. It makes people think about what good regulation looks like. Here's what you do. Pay attention to how this unfolds over the next few months. Watch how other AI companies respond. Ask yourself whether the regulations you hear about make sense or are just politics in disguise. The future of AI and your access to its benefits depends on getting this balance right, and that's only going to happen if people stay informed. Follow for daily AI headlines.